Hi, I'm Karin Melón. I've been doing music my whole life. Today I'm going to show you the fastest way to get started with Ableton. So let's go. Missy Melón on the track. So when I open Ableton, it looks like this. We're going to start with going to Live, Preferences, go to Audio. If you don't have a microphone or a sound card, you probably just choose your computer. Now that that's done, you can see that I have arrangement view, and we also have something called session view. Session view is more for live performing, idea making, DJ, stuff like that. And arrangement view is more like the traditional way to make music. And that's what I'm gonna show you guys today. If you're on session view, press tab or press this button here to go to arrangement view. You might ask, okay, how do I do a recording? Missy Melón on the track. This here is the metronome, those two dots. When it's yellow, it's on. On the right here, I usually like to have it on one bar. So when you record, it counts to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then records. You can of course record without a metronome, but if you want to add drums and other instruments on later, it can get very messy if it doesn't follow the same tempo. If you don't know what tempo you want, you can tap here with your mouse. You can press and drag down or drag up, and the higher the number, the faster the tempo. We got two types of tracks to record with, a MIDI track and an audio track. I'm gonna focus on the MIDI track first. If you don't got a MIDI track open, you can press Shift Command T or Shift Control T if you're on a PC, or you can go to create and press MIDI track like here. Make sure it's armed. If it's not armed, you don't really know on what track you're recording. What we're gonna do is choose an instrument. You can browse this way, or I'm gonna look for a piano, so I'm gonna write that down, press enter. Just a regular grand piano is good. So what I did is I double clicked on it. You can also click on it and drag it down. We chose our instrument and we got the track armed. The next thing to know is how to record. Well, there are a few ways. You can actually record on your computer keyboard, but just make sure this here is on. I'm just pressing my computer keyboard. Yay! But I have a MIDI controller. This one here. When you want to record with your keyboard computer or your MIDI controller, you press this circle here. Let's listen. 1, 2. And now we're starting. Yeah, and I'm going to press space to stop it. Space to play it again. Yeah, I just did a recording like that. Let's say you don't have a MIDI controller or don't want to record with your computer keyboard. Press Shift Command M and this square just appear. Go down here to the piano roll, it's called. And if you want to make the piano roll compact, you just press here and drag your mouse sideways. I'm gonna draw in by double clicking. You can press B and you see it's a pencil tool. You can just delete it and select and duplicate. You can drag it upwards, sideways. That's what I like about MIDI, because it's so easy to do edits later. This is the piano roll, but if I want to look at the instrument, I go click here and here. If I want to delete it, I just highlight it and press delete, backspace. And I can choose drums on the MIDI as well. Let's take 909 core kit. So I'm using my MIDI controller, but if you don't have any sound, try taking your MIDI controller down or up an octave. One way is to drag the pitch plugin down here. Now I got actually play. Let's do another recording. So I wasn't really on time. What I can do is double click here or just click there, and you can see the MIDI note ready to do some editing. So right now all of them are highlighted. I can drag and do whatever. Command Z if you did something wrong, or Control Z. What I'm gonna do is quantize. You can press Command or Control U, but I want to be more specific, so I'm pressing Shift Command U set his settings here. Yeah, that was right on time. So that's one thing to know. Quantization. Yeah, you can go to MIDI effects there and play around with that. And remember that for everything you're putting down here, it's creating a chain. The thing that is on the right is affecting all the effects or instrument that's on the left. Before I talk about audio track, I'm going to talk about things that are nice to know. I want to mute this track. I'm just going to press this yellow box. Now it's gray. Now you can hear it, but you can still see the signal there. Another thing to know is solo. That's the blue thing. Right now I just got one track here, so it's solo anyways. But you can have more tracks solo by pressing Command and selecting. Yeah. So let's talk about audio track. I got an audio track up here. If you don't have one already, press Command T or go to Create, Insert Audio Track like that. So remember always to arm your track. Right now it's still playing this MIDI track here, even though it's highlighted here. You need to press there. So let's do a recording of me talking to that. Hello, hello, goodbye, goodbye. Yeah, so that didn't sound good, but that's just a demonstration. This is the volume, by the way. Hello. So I recorded my microphone. You can also record guitar. Yeah, everything that goes through the microphone and stuff like that. And you can see the signal is very different than this one. I can just make that larger for you guys. Let me see, like that. And you can create fades here. With audio track, you can drag in loops, one-shots. And you can also put in MP3 and WAV file and so on. If you try to record and you didn't get any sound, just press this one here and just check where the signal comes from to find a nice loop that I like. So I'm just gonna go to Splice and drag this hat loop here. You can also just drag a lot of stuff under and stack up. That's not something I usually would download, I guess. But let's drag it there. Yeah, I can highlight all of them by pressing Shift and drag down the volume. It affects all the volumes on the tracks that I selected. I'm gonna add this audio effect here. Yeah, so you can play around with the audio effects. Before I end this video, just let's talk about editing tracks. You can do most of the stuff that I mentioned on the menu here, but I'm going to mention the shortcuts. So this is Command, and for PC or Windows is Control, okay? So Command D, duplicating it. If I want to color code something, I right click and press here. If I want to duplicate without overwriting, I press Shift Command D, and it just pushes everything further away. And I can drag this here, put it on another MIDI track. Also, you can copy and paste wherever you like here. I can make it shorter. I can split it up in two by pressing Command E, and now there are two parts. I deleted by highlighting and doing like that. You can also rename your tracks here by selecting the track and press Command R, and I can call it something. And I can color code these as well by right clicking. And you can group tracks. Let's say I want to group these here too, and press Command G. That group actually, if I mute this group, it will affect everything that's in the group. And ungrouping is Shift Command G. Remember to save your project, you press Command S. If you want to loop something, but I can just drag it like this. And if I want to listen to that part or loop that part over and over again, I need to make sure that this here is yellow. It's turned on. And if you want to quit Ableton, you just press Command Q. So that was a very quick guide on learning Ableton. So hopefully this video was very helpful to you. And if it was, please press like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok and all that. I'm very new to this, but I'll be making more tutorials. If you have any questions, please let me know on the comments. I'll see you there. Missy Melón on the track.